left with just 60 days or 2 months for CAT exam, and here are the few mistakes you must avoid in the last few days to get maximum accuracy, not just in exam but in your mock, so that you can be confident that in exam you're going to do your best, students. So very first thing, if you have already started reading, do not leave reading in between, right? You have to still continue that half an hour daily reading practice. I will not say read whatever you like, no, like especially in the last 2 months, reading novels or some essays is definitely not a great idea. Not that I'm against novels, I love reading novels, you can see some books next to me, but the CAT level passages, the kind of language, the kind of vocabulary they give you, it's not really what you see in novels or some Aeon essays. Aeon essays are also good, interesting with good vocabulary, but if you just see past 5 years question paper, they have not taken a single passage from this source. In fact, majority of the passages are from some scientific journals or from the Hindu editorials, the Economist, right? So again, all the newspapers are good, but if you have to still read newspaper editorials, the Hindu and the Economist are the best. A lot of people wonder that yes, I've heard this particular point or the recommendation hundreds of times from different faculties, but how should I read, what to read, how should I start, etc, etc. So students, you can join my Telegram channel. The link is in the description below. There we daily share, in the morning share 2 to 3 articles, 2 to 3 editorials which are CAT relevant, which will have language exactly what comes in exams, so that if you read daily within 25 to 30 days, especially if you're a beginner, I'm very sure most of you are not beginners, but if you're a beginner, you still feel very confident with CAT level passages if you just continue reading for 25 to 30 days. So if you do not know how to start, what to read, simply follow the articles we share in the group daily in the morning around 8 or 9 a.m. and just it will hardly take 15 to 20 minutes, read 2 to 3 articles, students, right? So do that. Second very important point is not making an error log, especially now that all of you have started taking mock tests. Make sure you decide the frequency of mock tests, that maybe you're taking mock today, one mock, your score was very low and you got scared, okay, I'm not taking second mock till I feel confident. And like, see, we cannot be 100% confident even till the exam day, isn't it? So you have to keep facing your fears, take at least one mock a week and increase the frequency. In next month, start taking 2 mocks a week, and between those days, just prepare for all the weaknesses or all the wrong answers, topics you found challenging, whatever problems you're finding, just make yourself 1% better every day, and that's how, like, with slow improvements actually lead to great improvements. You can't do something very major within a week, that today you got 80% and marks and then now after next week you'll get a 90 or 95%, right? That generally does not happen. So make sure you just keep evaluating yourself by taking tests, sectional tests plus mock tests. One mock test is very, very important, and whichever section, whichever type of questions you find very difficult, make an error log. Okay, this is where I got wrong. One very good way of making error log, students, is make 3 columns. Keep a notebook especially for error log and make 3 columns. First, which section, verbal, quant, DLR, which section you found difficulty. Second, which topic, say verbal, reading comprehension, and reading comprehension, what kind of difficulty, maybe it's history passages, inference question, or science passages, or time management, right? Anything. So that way, when you know what are your problems, what are your weaknesses, you will be able to work on them by practicing. Whenever you have to practice on your weaknesses, make sure you give at least 10 to 15 hours to that weakness and then see if you're improving or not. A lot of times, just give 1 or 2 days, 1 hour, and then they feel, oh, I am not improving, maybe I'm not cut out for this. That does not really happen. You have to give certain hours, at least 10 to 15 hours. 10 to 15 hours means, if for example you're getting parajumbles wrong, so in 10 to 15 hours you'll be able to solve approximately 100 to 150 questions with good analysis, like reading the explanation if you got it wrong, and with 100 to 150 questions you will know what thing you were doing incorrectly or what exactly you were doing. You were reading questions in a wrong way, and then you will also know, okay, now I've learned this, that's how I had to improve, and that's how I have to continue solving parajumble. So you have to invest 10 to 15 minutes on your weak areas, students. Next, third point is when you're stuck between 2 options, right? When you're stuck between 2 options, start from the start, students. A lot of you or most of you, what do you do? For example, you're confused between option A and option B. You will keep reading option A and B. Okay, which one is better? I don't know. And then because you're impatient by nature, all of us are, you'll just click which seems right at that point of time. And then you might end up getting that wrong in most most cases, right? So first of all, develop patience. When you're stuck between two options, that means in the entire process there's something you did wrong, isn't it? Either you didn't understand the question properly, didn't read the question properly, actually you didn't read the paragraph from where that question is from, that location carefully, and that's why you're confused what to choose, isn't it? So start from the start. I know it will take slightly more time, but you'll get that question correct. So of course there's so many strategies. I've covered a lot of sessions where if you're confused between two options, how exactly you should go about it. But please again give one more minute. When you give one more minute, you don't have to again, you'll face same challenges, isn't it? You will read the question again, try to understand the question again, especially this happens with inference questions. Read the location carefully again. Okay, this has been asked from this location. Just understand, okay, what question from which location. You will have some answer, some prediction already before reading the option, and then again when you just go back to those two options you're stuck with, you will know what's the correct answer, isn't it? Very common reason why students are stuck between two options. Also, second reason, student, is that we are not comfortable with language, be it VRC section, quant section, or DLR section. We are not able to understand the question itself. So just understand the question takes a lot of time. In reading comprehension, reading the passage, question, process of elimination takes a lot of time, whether we are getting answers correct or not. Similarly, in DLR, understanding the question, the logic of it, right, is a problem. Just reading and understanding the question is a challenge. So make sure when you're giving CAT 2024 exam, if you're calling yourself a CAT 2024 aspirant, at least you should not face any problem in understanding question. At least you should not take a lot of time in understanding question. Only when you will take care of that part, you will be able to take care of the correct answer part, right? You will get answer correctly as well as quickly, right? So make sure you work on these two things. Next point, students, is limiting correct number of attempts. Of course, all of us tell you that in VRC section that 16 to 18 attempts are more than enough out of 24 questions. Of course, but then you have to keep practicing that in your mocks as well. See, we say, okay, pick up some 10 to 12 easy question first, then of course in first 20 minutes. But when you look at the question paper, how will you know which is easy and which is difficult question, right? If we have not solved a lot of mocks, it's not easy to find even or pick up easy questions that way. No matter how many classes we attend, we have to attempt at least 8 to 10 mocks to know which are easy questions for me. For example, personally, when I took CAT for the first time, although overall like my verbal has been good compared to other sections, but still RC somehow was boring for me. Like when I took it for the first time before I started teaching and all as a student. So I started with VA section because in mocks, not only I was getting those questions correct, but I enjoy them more than compared to reading comprehension. So when you start your section with positive mindset, you get some 3 to 4 questions correct. It builds some confidence, some positivity for rest of the section as well as rest of the exam. So that's how you should really be very smart about your attempts. And when we say, okay, please focus on accuracy, but of course everybody wants to focus on accuracy, isn't it? It's not like we want to attempt wrong questions or get wrong answers. But then again, how will you be able to do that? Only when you take 8 to at least minimum 8 to 10 mocks, you will attempt a lot of questions. You will know your strengths and weaknesses. You know, okay, this is my strength. So your strength is easy question. Maybe for a lot of people, reading comprehension is easier compared to verbal ability, isn't it? That happens. So easy questions, of course, there are some common easy questions for everyone, but you have to also work on your strengths and weaknesses while solving mocks. So analyzing all these things, evaluation, constant evaluation takes more time than just taking mocks. A mock will take hardly 2 hours, but evaluation, self-analysis will take another 2 hours. So that's why if you take mocks properly, you can't really take 2 or 3 mocks right now because the entire week will only go in analysis and not on improvement. So make sure you take one mock, analyze properly, work on your weaknesses as well as strength, and then only shift to another mock next week. Fifth very important tip, student, is while you're taking mocks, you must be taking mocks from either from one particular coaching center, or maybe you must have bought from 2 or 3 coaching centers. And initial first few mocks will be easy, later last few mocks will be very difficult. Also, those mocks will be taken by few people because see, 2 to 3 lakh people take exam, but 1.5 lakh people take coaching. So for example, I am taking this mock from XYZ coaching center, and the total number of students in that coaching center is, for example, 10,000 students. So I'm only competing with 10,000. What I'm trying to say is, do not check your percentile. A lot of students are telling me, right now I'm getting a 97 percentile. Maybe you're just competing with 2,000 people currently, and in exam, in CAT exam, you're going to compete with 2.5 lakh people. So do not check or judge yourself with in terms of percentile. It's very misguiding. Please just check your score in verbal. Are you getting a 45 plus? Yes or no? If yes, just continue practicing, continue taking mocks, maintain that score, or slightly if you can increase it. If not, no, if you're getting less than 40, please work on your weaknesses, especially because 40 is still great. A 35 plus, right, is average or above average, but you still have to work on your weaknesses to get into top colleges students, and same for other sections. So make sure you understand this particular thing. Learn to be flexible and adapt your strategy in exam. This can be the case that reading comprehensions are comparatively, at least one is easy, three are very difficult, and all the verbal ability questions are easy. A reading comprehension is very comparatively easy, but all the verbal ability questions are hard. So like I just told you that I personally used to start with verbal ability question, but that may not work for you in this CAT 2024 exam, isn't it? So make sure that you understand again, like, that you have to be slightly flexible, you have to be good in all the topics, especially in reading comprehension, because that carries 70% weightage. So you can start attempting it later after 4 to 5 questions, but you'll have to attempt at least 2 to 3 passages. If you're good, if your accuracy is very good, 3 passages. If you are someone who are like me, as in like I used to be, then you can start with 2 passages, solve all the verbal ability question. If you're left with the time, come back to solve some direct or easy question, whatever is left, like that. So you have to strategize that and be very flexible on the exam day, because you may not get what you have been practicing in mock exams. At the same time, students, just there are 2 months to go. So you can only do a very strategic revision rather than starting something new. Like, see, there are always exceptions. There will be some students who will prepare in last 2 or 3 months, 1 month maybe, and crack CAT, right? But there's that number is very small. When I talk about majority of the people who see or who watch such videos, who join coaching centers, they're generally average students, isn't it? I'm talking majority. And for majority, cracking CAT in 2 months and 50 to 60 days is quite difficult. So I'm not going to say, hey students, today I'm going to tell you all the strategies of verbal जो हम 2 months में करेंगे, आपको इसमें पीछे 5-6 दिन की छुट्टी भी मिलेगी, और like luring words, because that is very difficult. I see any 60-day or 70 crash course is good only for revising if your aptitude is already good. I'm not going to recommend you to begin. If you're someone who has just started or still struggling, I think focusing on upcoming other management exams like XAT or SNAP exam, right? These are good exam, INMAT exam is much more wise than, okay, give CAT just to attempt it. But then if you thoda bhi doubt ho raha hai, to please start with SNAP, INMAT, XAT as well, parallelly students. Yeah. So that is it. I'll see you soon in the next video.